Hi everyone. Today, we are diving into an incredibly ambitious project. Can we actually run Windows 11 on a Raspberry Pi 3 Model B? Not just any Windows 11, but the highly optimized Tiny 11 version. This is a real test of limits. The Raspberry Pi 3 Model B is an older single-board computer. It has only 1 GB of RAM and a 1.2 GHz quad-core processor. Windows 11 usually needs much more. That's where Tiny 11 comes in. Tiny 11 is a stripped-down, lightweight version of Windows 11. It removes many unnecessary features and bloatware. This makes it much smaller and less demanding. It's perfect for low-spec machines like our Pi 3. First, let's understand Tiny 11. It is a custom build created by NTDEV. They carefully remove components that are not essential. This includes things like Microsoft Teams, some default apps, and many background services. The goal is a leaner operating system. This uses less disk space and significantly less RAM. This is absolutely critical for our Raspberry Pi 3. The Pi 3 Model B, despite its age, is still a capable little computer for many tasks. However, running a modern desktop OS like Windows is a huge ask. It lacks native UEFI support, which Windows requires. It also has very limited processing power and memory for such a heavy OS. The installation process itself is not straightforward. You cannot just flash an image. We need special tools. We start by downloading the ARM 64 version of Tiny 11. Then, we need a fast SD card, ideally a U3 rated one. Even better, an external USB SSD can dramatically improve performance. The key tool for this task is often called WOA installer. This tool helps prepare the storage device. It injects the necessary drivers for the Raspberry Pi hardware. It also installs a custom UEFI firmware onto the Pi's boot partition. This firmware tricks Windows into thinking it's running on a standard PC. It allows the Pi to boot a Windows system. The WOA installer copies all the Tiny 11 files to the chosen storage. This entire preparation process can take a while. Patience is definitely a virtue here. Once the SD card or SSD is ready, we insert it into the Raspberry Pi 3. Connect a monitor, keyboard, and mouse. Then, power it on. The first boot will be very, very slow. Windows needs to configure itself. It needs to detect hardware and install drivers. Expect a long wait, potentially 30 minutes or more, just for the initial setup screens. Once it finally boots into the desktop, what can we expect? Performance will be sluggish. The 1 GB of RAM is a significant bottleneck. Opening applications will take a noticeable amount of time. Simple tasks like browsing the File Explorer or opening Notepad might work. Web browsing is possible, but don't expect smooth video playback or complex websites to load quickly. It is more of a proof of concept. It shows that it can technically run. It is not designed for daily use. You would not replace your desktop computer with this setup. This experiment highlights several points. It shows the incredible optimization work done by the Tiny 11 developers. It also demonstrates the versatility and community support behind the Raspberry Pi. While not practical for everyday tasks, it is a fascinating technical achievement. It pushes the boundaries of what these small, affordable computers can do. It's a fun project for anyone interested in tinkering with hardware and software. So, yes, the Raspberry Pi 3 Model B can technically run Tiny 11, but it's a slow and challenging experience. It's more about the can we than the should we. If you found this deep dive into Tiny 11 on the Raspberry Pi 3 interesting, please give this video a big thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried anything similar or if you have questions. And if you want to see more unique tech experiments, hacks, and reviews, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.